Okay.
All right, can you hear us now?
You can hear us now, and now I will give you back to the intro, and we can start where we want to.
Really, we start all over?
Yes, we do.
So do we have to go through the huddle, or did everything that we do, has that been recorded? What we
It's
said
been
already?
recorded, but let's do it live.
So
Okay.
we're going to repeat everything from the beginning.
Yes, let's start all over.
Okay, we're going to start all over.
Okay. You can hear us now, and now I will give you back to the intro, and we can start where we want to.
Really, we're going to do this again.
Yes, we are.
Okay, now
You ready to dance?
you saved the other one, so
I did.
Okay, let's do this, and then I can open up.
And you were right. We just did need to turn it off and on again.
Well, that's the only thing I know.
That's
about
the
technology.
IT. That's the IT way. Let's do this.
All right.
Hodl, hodl, hodl. Save, save, save. Builder, builder, builder. Sound money, sound money. Hello, guys. We're back, and now we should actually have sound as well. Am I right? Can someone confirm it for
Right.
me on YouTube, just so I'm completely confident? Yes, sounds good.
All right,
Beautiful.
guys,
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, guys, we are just two imaginative idiots working our way through Bitcoin. And let me explain a little bit of what happened. We're building a new foundation. We're not trying to win the world over or anything. We're building a base. We want to build up the quality of our production, of the quality of the show that we put out, and then we'll be working on the content. So we want to make sure we have the right format. Then we can really start working on the content.
And now we're sort of feeling we're getting to the format part, so now the content is coming into it.
And all that we did before that you didn't see, we will probably edit. We might include, because you really missed meeting Big Bear and stuff like that.
Yeah, but he might come back.
He might
Who
come back.
knows?
We'll see what we got recorded.
Well,
So
they saw him.
they did see him. They just didn't get to hear what we're talking about. So,
But yeah, he's the guy that will bite your face off if you come and try to rob our Bitcoin.
well, we try and have a little security here. But I just want to outline what we're doing here. Stefan and I could not be doing this except that we both are hodlers.
Right. That's basically.
I think I was more deliberate than you.
I was a very accidental hodler, but a hodler
still
nonetheless.
The results the same.
Right.
And if you've been following me for a long time, where I started getting a reputation was writing on Medium, and one of my very first articles was how to have the same results as a professional trader without taking the inherent risks. And I outlined the strategy of dollar cost averaging as an asset that's fundamentally sound. And of course, that's what we've done in Bitcoin. You've seen the results. If you just dollar cost average it, even if you take the very worst timing, you're a multi-millionaire now in Bitcoin, just investing $500 a month.
Right. And this is all information that's available on uglyoldgoat.com. You can go there for free. There's no reason to pay us for any of our paid
And
products.
we're going to be doing in the future, same model. Most of this stuff that we're doing now, I was able to get BitcoinConsumerReport.com. Said, yeah, let's get it and run with it.
Let's see what we can do with it.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here today. We decided that there are so many other ways than trading that you can make money off being a hodler.
What I'm teaching is not just hodling, but I teach saving, and that is as you hodl, you reward yourself. And then the last thing we do is we build it. Now, build it does not mean you have to be a developer on Bitcoin. It does not mean you have to know programming. Guys, you might, we have people that one of my favorite people is Victor Villacania. He's an engineer, runs 2 factories, but he loves Bitcoin. He has no intention of giving up his great job. He loves the family, and so I get it.
It's not everyone is like me who hated their job and wanted to leave.
Well, I'm unemployable anyway, so maybe you're unemployable. But if you're unemployable, then you got to find something else. So the whole thing is, we want to teach you Builda, and Builda is just being the very best at what you know, and it doesn't have to be Bitcoin. In fact, I don't know the technical aspects. I'm the first one that to confess, I don't understand the back end. I understand the economic principles. I found some very developers with integrity who I trust that have explained it to me. And so some things I do have to take on faith. It's just like the way one of the great analogy is, you know, to use electricity, you don't need to know how a nuclear reactor works. And yet, running a nuclear reactor is a very
it's kind of hard.
Yeah, it's not something. And the same thing here with Bitcoin. No, I came to the conclusion through my study of economics, and everybody comes to this realization in different ways. So what I want to do today is I want to emphasize building, and that's what we're emphasizing now. And the way that I kind of want to explain it is I started kind of coming out. I didn't even reveal who I was, my face, or anything.
Do you want to tell them why?
Well, I'm a well-known convicted felon, let's put it that way. I have a storied past, and it was hard. But thanks to my friend Vays, he encouraged me to do so, and so here I am. And hopefully I'll have a little bit to pass on and teach others. I don't know a lot, but what I do know, I'm here to pass on to others. So building is after I started writing on Medium.
Well, since this is public, do you want to start before you actually got convicted? What is your credentials as a money man?
Well, before I was a convicted felon, I was a Series 7 securities dealer and commodities broker when everything was not digital and it was all analog. And the trading boards were kind of like a big pinball machine that made lots of noise, and actually we sent our orders through teletype. The most reliable was teletype, but I also had the phone. And I was.
So you were a real paper trader?
I was I was a
floor trader.
Well, I was not a floor trader, no.
Oh, okay.
I worked for a commission firm, but I got a very good rate. I basically paid probably a little bit more than floor traders. I was never a member of the exchange, but I actually cleared through I don't think they're around anymore, but it was Clayton Brokerage Company that was a subsidy of Garnet Grain, which was, I don't know, was part of one of the top 7 families in the world. I don't know who they are, Andre family or something like that. I don't know. But
the point is, this man knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, well, I know some. What I know, but most I don't know. The whole thing is, though, that I want to teach you by example, and the example is that in 2018, after I started writing, I then made the next decision. I said, you know what, I know how to trade. My mentor said, you know what, if you can't publish your trades and show people your actual results, you really shouldn't claim that you know how to trade. So I took up that challenge and I did it, and before I went public, I published my trades on Medium, and I think in the fall of 2018 I ran 2 Bitcoin into 22 Bitcoin, and then started the website, and basically I risked 10 Bitcoin to start uglyoldgoat.com.
Right.
And
at the time?
Yeah, I sold lifetime memberships, my life, not yours, and Bitcoin was about $3,500 then, and I charged it so it was about, and with a 15% discount off of $350, I don't know what that is, but basically a little under $300 to get a lifetime subscription. And it's turned out to be a really great investment for everybody. It actually, paid for itself. Now here we are.
I know my subscription paid for itself many times over.
And now we don't have a lifetime subscription anymore, and we have it's a yearly subscription. And
but
I don't really care if I sell it because I'm not. Most of my stuff is free. The only thing you get with my subscription, you get my actual trades.
Because I also want to point out, this is not a cheap subscription. It has cost 0.1 Bitcoin since day one, and it still does.
It still does, and they only get a year now.
Right. So you're looking at $6,000.
Right. So if you don't,
If you don't think you need it, you probably don't.
yeah, you probably don't. If you don't have a HODL, you're not qualified anyway. But you don't need it. You really don't. So and then what we're doing is, again, we're going to be offering a lot of all free content. It's just I don't want to go through and teach the same things over and over and over again, because we're doing another new level. Here we are. I'm putting up 10 Bitcoin, which is now almost $600,000. He's putting up 600,000, and we want to make an investment in giving back to Bitcoin. We don't know if we're going to. We could fall flat on our face.
But you know what?
Can you believe it? I can afford to lose $600,000.
Do you
and
know?
That affect me one way or another.
Do you know that that was absolutely an.
It's an incredible situation, isn't it?
Last year, we were thinking about, well, if we were ever going to be able to use them, things have changed a lot in Bitcoin, which has made many differences in many lives.
So as an asset class, it's going to change, and you can't, what people are expecting from me this year, they kind of have to learn this too. They you're not doing what I did. I haven't actually traded at all hardly this year. In fact, I stopped in January. I've lost, 4 or 6 Bitcoin.
I think you only just started.
Yeah.
You only just re-entered the market, right?
Right, in very, very small, almost negligible way.
And that's the things that our paying members get.
Right.
He publishes his trades
As
and his track record in real time.
In real time.
Not for people to follow, but so people can see what.
And we have a member that created an equity app where you can plug in my trades and see how my equity flows, and you can plug in your trades, because what I really teach guys is not TA. I teach equity trading, which the most important thing about trading is money management. It's really got nothing to do with technical analysis, fundamentals. It's primarily money management, and once you get that down, those other two things fall into place. I outline, the fundamentals apart from Bitcoin, the fundamentals of Bitcoin, and both of those are important. And TA is not anything to be ignored. It's very useful, but most people abuse it, and they think it's the end-all to end-all, and without money management, technical analysis is going to ruin you.
Right.
It just is.
Money management will save any system you're using as long as it is consistently.
I use and have always used BitMEX as my trading platform. It is a professional platform. You shouldn't go in there if you're an amateur and think you know what you're doing. Guys like me are going to eat your lunch.
Right. Even I'm going to eat your lunch, and I don't know what I'm doing half the time.
So there are, safer ways. They may not be quite so efficient, and it's working out your own comfort zone. That's the most important thing. But one of the things I do teach, I know you might Google it and see if that article is that the exchanges really are the current Bitcoin banks. And they're not the best banks, okay?
Is it your article?
Yeah, just hit ugly old goat and just go exchanges, Bitcoin bank, exchange, let's see.
Managing exchange risk.
Okay, if we are to be our own, but how's that one? I don't know.
If we are to be our, is that one? No, that's Twitter.
That's just a Twitter. Many
exchanges are.
Well, that's not a bad one right there. Managing, that's my focus on the article.
But that's a video.
Coming Bitcoin world. That's managing exchange. I don't know where that is.
Good question and deserves a thorough answer. Is that the one?
We'll try it. Well, I'm not going to go through, guys.
No, but anyway, your point was.
My point is basically the exchanges are acting as primitive banks now. They're not the best thing around. They're not transparent as we would like, but they are serving a function. You need to understand that any funds, any Bitcoin that you put on an exchange is not your Bitcoin.
Right.
And that you're taking a very real exchange risk. Now, that exchange risk has diminished substantially over the course of time. Before 2016, I lost a lot of funds, a lot of Bitcoin, probably more Bitcoin than I ever owned at one time, to exchanges. I was a victim of several exchanges, hacks. I was also a victim of Cryptsy.
Yeah, you went down with.
I went down with Cryptsy. I went down
Mount
CC.
Gox, right?
No, I did not go down.
Oh.
Not because I didn't want to. It's not because I couldn't get to it. And I did what was CC script. It was a kind of a mining thing where I took out 120 Bitcoin and gave it all back to them. That's sad. And guys, don't misconstrue what I'm teaching here. I literally took last year, less than $5,000 and turned it into well over $1 million just trading Bitcoin and Bitcoin alone on BitMEX. It's all documented. Subscribers have that documentation. They can load it on.
We all saw it. We all saw it
as it was going on. Not after the fact. Where I said, "Oh, well, I call it," because I don't know where the market's going. So I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish there, to show that it can be done, and that anybody can do it. It's not rocket science, and encourage you to learn what this Bitcoin is all about. I do understand, hedging probably better than most. I understand how exchanges operate. I do believe that BitMEX is the premier exchange for commercial users, and always has been and still is. Unfortunately, we've really dropped the ball because these guys have come under tremendous persecution, and they're really heroes in my book. I mean, I really like what's going on in the market right now. I mean, Michael Saylor's really putting out some good content, and I really compliment him for that. But beyond that, he really hasn't, done anything except he's a big buyer of Bitcoin.
Right. Anyone can put in a big amount if they have it.
But I think BitMEX and Arthur Hayes and Samuel Reed, all these guys, look, they got, first of all, it was a coordinated effort by the CFTC, by the regulators, because they dominated the arbitrage in the hedging markets through the system that they pioneered, and so they offended the major exchanges, and they also offended the central banks. I think part of the reason they don't have a lot of public support is most people don't know how to trade. And I may have been living off of BitMEX, but most people lost their shirt.
I just want to give a quick shout out to Madeline here.
Okay.
That's done.
All right. So, that's where that is. But we want to go to the next level, and now what we want to do is, this is probably a bigger undertaking. I know I'm not going to be able to do it on my own, but we want to kind of become a consumer report, a Bitcoin consumer report on what's going on. We're not going to be making any, we may occasionally make specific recommendations, but mainly we want to show what's out there. And also, if there's some major scams out there, which there are, we're going to be doing one on one of my favorites.
Yeah, let's not give away too much. But
Bitcoin.com bait and switch.
Right. Okay, you just gave it all away anyway. But fair enough. That's how we work around here. No, we're gonna.
But that's not what we're going to focus on now. We do want to look at. We had a fellow member. His name.
Crypto Sorrow?
No, not crypto.
We don't want to give away. We're public.
Well, it's not. He's speaking. Jimmy, I remember
We're public.
Jimmy.
We're public.
What? I don't think he minds. We don't.
Well, we don't know. Just
Okay, we
stick
have
to
a
handles.
member. Okay, but nobody's going to identify that. Is that too much?
Yes.
Okay, we have a member that shared what he was doing on
Binance, yeah.
Yeah, and I was
Specifically
the thing I
the
really
mobile
liked
app.
about it is Jimmy has he's all crippled up. He's an old guy like me, not quite as old as me, but he's got health problems, and so he trades just off his cell phone, and then he uses a Samsung because it has that little stylus on it, which just that one feature kind of captivated me. And then he's using his own method, what he calls hedging operations. I'm not sold on that particularly. I'm not unsold on it. It's just, guys, you do what you're most comfortable with. It's not. I don't have a right way or a wrong way. I do have a right way as far as principles, as far as how you manage the funds. But there's no magic beans to trading. There really isn't, and that's really a hard concept to understand.
Right.
But once you get that, then you're free to really open up yourself and what you can do trading. And the one thing that we're going to outline today, I am comfortable on BitMEX because it's a professionals market. I'm not.
You're a professional trader.
I'm a professional trader. I'm not here to endorse. I'll flat out tell you I love BitMEX. I think they're far beyond anything else out there, but it's not for everybody, and you're better off not starting out slow. When I first started trading Bitcoin, I only traded on the cash market.
Right. You traded spot.
I traded spot, and it was 100% arbitrage between various markets.
And for anyone who doesn't know what it means, when you trade spot, that means for every dollar you're putting in, you're actually putting in $1. When you're trading on leverage, you're putting in $1, and you may be trading with the value of $10.
Buying Bitcoin here and selling it there, and moving the funds to capitalize off of the spread.
Right.
Which
That's
I'm
arbitrage.
And I have outlined that for our members. For example, if you live
And there is a preview video that you can go watch to
Yeah.
see if that's something that's for you.
Yeah.
And if that's something you think you want to do, then maybe your
Right.
the membership is worth it for you. But
Yeah, it may be worth it to you. What I've taught people, you know what? Right now you can make less after you can gross $8,000 a month trading 2 Bitcoin between Mexico and the world. At least in the current market condition. And that could
But it also
disappear.
requires that you are in Mexico.
Yeah, you have to have your foot in both places. You have to meet KYC. You're going to be under the jurisdiction of a nation. You owe the tax if you're doing this profitably.
And you need to pay your taxes.
And you need to pay your taxes because you know what? If you're going to trade in a jurisdiction, you're asking them, say, you've agreed to their rules.
Right.
Now, the beauty about Bitcoin is you can opt out and not play, but you don't really have an objection and say, well, I want to play in your playground, but I don't want to follow your rules. It doesn't work that way, guys.
Where does that ever work?
Yeah. So, that's what I teach, and you can do this. Like say, if you're well financed, you can pull out 8,000. It takes a day's worth of work. If you're not, if you don't have 100,000 Bitcoin to trade with, you can easily do it within 12 business days.
Right. And it's like we said, that sort of business is a self-escalating,
But
a
you may not be into
self-perpetuating.
that. I get it. You've got commitments. Everybody
physical work.
Yeah, and just like we consider ourselves kind of the underground railroad of the new Bitcoin, because I think there's a real danger in the United States right now by having too much on legacy systems.
Not only in America, in anywhere.
My
really.
flat out recommendation, guys, is if you have all your assets tied up in a house and your retirement and your legacy accounts in the United States, you need to figure out some way to get immediately 5% of those assets out of there and into Bitcoin, and then eventually work it to where you have 15% of your net worth into Bitcoin. That's one thing that I think Michael Saylor's been pretty good at teaching when he came up with the idea is he treats Bitcoin as his treasury. And that's exactly, I didn't have that terminology, but I think it's great terminology. And that's exactly the way you treat Bitcoin. It's your money at rest. It's like energy waiting to be used. And this is what we're doing now. We've been hodlers, and we've had this energy waiting to be used. Bitcoin all of a sudden popped. I don't have as much Bitcoin as I used to have, but my net worth is higher than it's ever been.
I really like the wording that you use in some of your articles, which is Bitcoin is monetary energy at rest under your own lock and key. Do you remember how you put it? I can't remember it.
It's in the article. I think I am saving. I think that's
while fiat money is monetary energy heading towards
deteriorating daily, and if you're
heading towards this inevitable point of worthlessness.
Yeah, you need to have it in practical value because other people are there and that's what they value. But you just have a very small portion of your operate as little as possible. To the point that I'm so illiquid in fiat that sometimes I have a shortage of fiat. It's not like I have to. It's just that I haven't worked out all the different things. But
look, I have the same problem right now. I have absolutely no cash, and the bank machine ate my card yesterday by accident because it had an error. I can't get cash out, but I'm Bitcoin rich. It's a very weird feeling.
So what we're going to demonstrate today is while I opened up a Binance account, I'm not trading on Binance. I can't see any real advantage for me to. I'm not this is not a recommendation for Binance. I don't know their financial integrity. I have assumed that they are. I've heard nothing but reliable reports from them. A lot of us don't particularly like the way they finance themselves with the shitcoin, but I get it, and in retrospect, it certainly looks like a pretty smart move. But what I do want to emphasize is that there are exchanges are kind of the new they're the banks for they're acting as banks, not really good banks. This is where we need to develop in the future, but for now that's what they're acting as. And so they do have such a thing as, I know Bitfinex had this for a long time, where you could deposit Bitcoin and earn interest on it. The problem is that Bitfinex didn't get a hack. I was a victim of that. They made it all good, and so I guess the same thing happened on Binance. So, but you can't get around this very real exchange risk, and as long as you realize that anything on an exchange you are at risk, then you learn how to treat banking. You don't keep all your money with one bank.
Right. Ask the Greeks how that goes.
You can have multiple banks, guys, and you can have, and some people you just keep credits with. I have my membership group. We have a referral link, so if people, we come up with different ideas, and our members can promote them, and then for example, if you buy one of my subscriptions through a member, you get a 15% discount. I don't offer that discount if you go directly to my website. But if you go through a member, you get a 15% discount, and they get 10%. So people get this little balance in Bitcoin.
They have a little Bitcoin bank.
And, right. But I'm not an exchange. I'm not dumping it every 24 hours or immediately or anything. In fact, I had two people asking for Bitcoin. We didn't even notice it for a month. And somebody in February asked for Bitcoin. They just got it this week. So,
we'll get better at that, we promise.
We're getting what we're doing is we're setting up our system, guys. We're establishing what we're trying to do here and teaching what we're trying to do. I'm not ready to. We're not ready to be a big organization. It's
Well,
just,
no, we don't need to be.
but we don't need to, and I don't even know that I even want to be.
No, I've been part of those. They suck.
So, you know, it's just where everybody wants to go on this. So, are you going to make the demonstration on this?
Yeah, are we ready to move on?
Yeah, let's do
yeah. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna look at, if you're not a trader, if you're not someone who necessarily, well, if you're not a trader, if you're not putting your Bitcoin at risk to try and make
everybody's
more.
a trader to some degree. I mean, if you
Right.
buy or sell Bitcoin, you're a trader.
That's true.
So,
If you're not an active trader, leverage trader, BitMEX trader like we are, or
you're not trying to earn a living trading like I do.
right, you just want to make a little bit of extra money because you have some money.
Have some Bitcoin.
Right.
How
So
do
there
I
are
do that?
other ways of
without
doing that.
betting the farm.
Yeah, and without taking that same risk as we take when we put our Bitcoin on BitMEX.
And one way you can do that is you take a small part of your HODL and you can put it on a platform that is paying you interest for the you can do it overnight, and they also have a system where you can actually lock it up for 90 days and earn a little bit that way. So there's different ways you can do it. Now, the way I do it, the reason I like BitMEX is because they have everything. It's a peer-to-peer exchange. If you notice, there's no spread that's as tight. Like even the most volatile times, the perp market, there's no slippage between the bid and the ask. It's always right there. And so that makes it exciting. And so if you're making the market, you get paid that. And you also get funding, which all these things that are on BitMEX, they're already figured into an exchange like BitMEX. Everybody's looking at the same things. Your yield will probably be lower on something like Binance, or it should be. If it was higher, I would be suspicious if it's real.
Well, they also have products that are literally
Different.
called high risk investments.
Right. So that's, what we were trying to do is say, you know what, we do recommend that you keep the vast majority of your HODL on your private key and secure different ways. And there's different ways of doing it. Security is not an easy thing. But you can also use and these are primitive Bitcoin banks.
Right.
We have a long way to go, but this is a beginning. And so I have to take my hat off to the exchanges that see the potential, are starting to do that. And there's all kinds of other things that are happening in the marketplace. You have, I like particularly Liquid. I haven't done anything on there yet, but I understand the concept. There's Lightning, which I still very neutral on because I'm not a small Bitcoiner, but more of a medium-sized Bitcoiner. I don't see the.
But you
the use
also-
for it, but I haven't discounted it.
You also don't necessarily subscribe to the Bitcoin becoming cash.
I do subscribe that it will become cash, but I don't think it will become cash
On chain.
So yeah, I think it will become cash, and it's going to be entrepreneurs and that bring back conventional banking, and that's just based on the idea that we don't need the chain for the majority of these transactions. We need it simply as a settling. For
Right.
the
Like for
transaction.
instance, I get paid in Bitcoin when I do a job. I don't necessarily need the Bitcoin right now. We keep an internal score of
Account.
how much who owes what, and when we settle up in Bitcoin. It doesn't need all to happen every single transaction on chain.
Right.
It's a
And it's
settlement
gonna be
instrument.
Greasing those wheels and figuring out how it's done, and there's going to be different views. We had on the Monetary Nerd, which
Joachim Book.
Yeah, Joachim Buck.
And go
he's
check
great.
out the interview. The
Yeah.
sound is a little
We
wonky on that
apologize for
one.
but that's what we're learning, guys. We're getting better at this all the time. It's just
I did the best I could to get it better, but
Yeah.
but we'll have him on again and
We will have him
rehash
on
it
again.
because that was a really interesting conversation.
Yeah,
I
and
really
I did
enjoyed
invite
that.
him to be a speaker at the Bitcoin.
Oh yeah, we
Conference.
can talk about that a little bit.
So, because I think he's challenging a lot of the what he calls the Bitcoin maximalist rhetoric, and of course I hate that term. I like the word Bitcoin standard bearer, but I understand where he's coming from. We don't see eye to eye on everything. Sometimes it's a matter of defining terms, but I know Joachim he's persuaded that a fractional reserve is okay, and I mean you have to define what that means, and the way I define it is sound commercial banking. In other words, you can have 100% redeemability, and yet it's not fractional reserve, because what's going on is the banks actually act as a clearinghouse for, as new goods come into production, they can create what's called self-liquidating commercial paper, or
See, this is the kind of knowledge this guy has about money that I have no clue about. I just know how to make money on
so
Bitcoin.
it's not 100%. It's not 100% reserved in Bitcoin, but it is reserved to the best of our ability to all the goods, Bitcoin included, that are coming on to the marketplace. And it is a free market. The innovation of the 19th century was the gold standard, and that's not the same as gold. And I think it's a very fatal mistake if you link Bitcoin as also being the Bitcoin standard. We don't know what the Bitcoin standard is going to look like. I think we can have a glimpse of it, but this is the challenge that's going to be and not up to me, because it's going to be up to you guys. It's up to you youngsters. The guys they're 40 and 50 years younger than me. You're going to have to be the ones figuring out how to do this. But there are certain principles, and the most important principle is, what my mentor, who taught me what sound commercial banking was, and that is, for integrity there is no substitute.
That's what you put on your coins.
That's exactly that's what Harwood wanted me to put on there. I said, what should I put on the back of this one? So here we go.
So you used to mint gold and silver coins.
Yeah, and I learned about sound money through E.C. Harwood. You got the picture of that? And guys, if you listen to Michael Saylor, he's saying, this is a good time to be for collectibles. And I think this is, which camera? This one?
You see it here.
Which one? This
That
one.
one.
This one. Okay. Is that good?
Yeah, you good.
Oh, there. I'm getting some light on it. There we go.
Sound commercial banking.
Yeah.
And you can flip it around.
And flip it this way. It's a flipping coin, so I turn it that way, and there it is. Now, that looks a little like the B, but we had a G on it back then.
And if you noticed our little nice intro
Right.
earlier, that's the coin that we have on there, but now with the Bitcoin logo on the
And
back
I
as
did
well.
these in silver too. Here's the silver. And again, now I've been buying these. I just bought about over $20,000 for like all that I could find on the open market. In fact, we're going to have a collector that's been collecting. I found him. I was almost by accident. And I said, you know what? I want to be buying some of these coins that I was selling. He said, wow, you can't believe he was talking to me. But he's not selling me just top-notch coins.
Well, obviously not.
Because he's collecting them. So, but I'm
Obviously
getting
not.
on that bandwagon.
I've been trying to find
So good
some.
luck finding them, guys, because it's not easy.
It's
I
not
found my
easy.
stash.
I'm trying to find mine. Like I want a collection of them, but
Do you know that I made a 5-ounce?
I know there's only like
Ludwig
28.
von-
There's only 28 of them
Ludwig
out there. Or
von
something
Mises
like
piece.
it.
I haven't even seen it. I can't even find a picture of one online.
I know. I've been looking because I know I can sell that to you for a 50% premium. Anyway, guys.
So we need to give them this lesson.
Right.
How
So
you
let's get on to what this is actually about. Right. We have in the crypto world, obviously, people are well aware that there are many different places to work with your Bitcoin, and Binance is an exchange that many Bitcoin standard bearers take
Yeah.
adversity to. They hate them for some reason or another.
Well, they
Mostly because of shitcoin.
Yeah,
right?
mainly because they started a Binance coin to find. And you know what?
No, they started that after.
Or did they?
Yeah, I
Well, they
think
still.
so.
That's where they started the exchange, but then they really were able.
Yeah,
to
they,
take it to
they
the-
started the exchange and then they made
But they
it.
actually had a use case before they came out with the coin, which is a whole
Right.
lot different from not having a use
Right,
case and
that's
creating a
that's
coin.
what I've been saying to a lot of people. Is one of the only shit coins that I actually give credence to. Here he is.
There you go. Oh, this is Big Bear. He's looking out after me now. He got the privilege of coming in here today.
Hey,
And
Biggie.
he's gonna be once. Oh, we're gonna take him. He's got a little problem with his ears up here.
Got a tick.
No, I don't know what it is, but
Ah,
I'll get it. Well, I'll show it to mommy.
alright.
Anyway,
Hello,
so
Big Bear. Ooh, hello.
Belgian Shepherd, guys.
Yeah,
And
some of the
he's-
best ones out there. They're
I need to get him trained a little bit better, but he's all right. I don't
Right.
like the little dogs, guys. I'm gonna have a dog. I want a dog.
Yeah, we don't want a
I
yapper.
remember John Wayne. He had some movie, and he had his dog was named Dog. And then when I go to prison, hey dog, you know, that's the first time I heard dog. I was 40, and the youngsters are calling it.
Alright, should
I said,
we,
I'm not your dog.
Careful with the shouting. You'll end up
Okay.
deafening our audience.
All right.
Let's go through the comments and then we'll go on to the Binance.
Are we drunk? No, I think we just
Yeah, no,
we shared a bottle of wine. And I ate 2 steaks and you ate 1.
Yeah.
And now we're drinking coffee. So
No,
yeah, but
we actually stayed sober very, very consciously for this because today we have content. That's usually
we're working, guys. We really are working on a foundation, but we have to have a quality video before we get really serious about content.
Right, exactly.
And
And we
so-
feel we're getting there, so now we can stop getting drunk on street.
Yeah, vodka. No, you know, I was in Russia for the World Cup, and I prefer tequila over vodka.
Yeah,
It's
true,
just-
and we're
it's
going to
not-
Beijing in 2022
Yeah, we
if
need
they'll
to
let
go.
us in, but we'll
We need to
see.
go to Beijing. I would hope Saifedean will go with us to
Oh,
Beijing. That would be a
safe.
good-
Come
maybe-
along. Come along.
Yeah, and maybe get the Bitcoin rabbi and make it real controversial.
just like you like it.
Yeah.
Controversy is your game, right? Okay. So let's see. We have no sound. Yeah, that was a sound problem. Turn it off and on again. We did. It worked. Hey, Seizo. Seizo is one of our members. Really good guy.
Zazo was a lead feature at the Working Man's Bitcoin Cruise.
Right.
He was man enough to share about how he got.
How he
ruined.
lost his hodl.
Well, he lost his hollow, guys, and that's
That is not an easy thing to talk about,
no, it's not.
especially not in public. And then we have, hey Maddie. Love it. We're waiting to see you in August. Maddie is my personal assistant. She helps
Okay.
me with all my events. Hey Shibley.
All right.
Yeah, UOG is the most smart. Yeah, well, he isn't dumb, that's for sure.
Well, I don't know much, but I'm not shy on what I do know, so that's it. And then what I do
Alright,
don't
so
know,
gold
hopefully
standard-
I acknowledge right away.
Gold standard comes first, BTC comes after. That's an interesting statement.
Yeah, it was a good one. You know what? I think that if nothing else, the Bitcoin standard has a lot to learn from the gold standard, and the problem with it is, and this is what I really got as a take from not the Bitcoin nerd,
Joachim.
huh?
Joachim?
Yeah, but what does he call himself?
The monetary.
Monetary nerd is that there's a lot to the past that is ignored.
Right.
It's amazing how many people that are gold advocates, gold bugs, really have never understood what a gold standard really was and how it was an innovation.
Right, you had to teach me over many lessons what the difference is.
The other thing is that you have a lot of modern Bitcoiners that have almost the same mindset as the gold 100%, and it comes basically. I know where most of it comes from Murray Rothbard and his view of and he wrote a book about it, the case for 100% gold dollar. Well, as E.C. Harwood wrote, and as the monetary nerd has taught us, we're not going to go anywhere with Bitcoin unless Bitcoin banking emerges simultaneously with Bitcoin.
Well, commercial banking.
Commercial banking, right.
On the back of Bitcoin.
Right.
Really is.
And it doesn't have to be, wow, what's all that going on? I have to go look at those.
No, just.
But it doesn't have to be, on chain. And I got, look.
Preferably not really, right?
It's a lot, apparently it's going to be a lot cheaper. It doesn't need to be on chain. And as a settling, yes, that has to be on chain. We're not debating that part. But in the meantime, we can, among producers of wealth, we build our own clearinghouse. We build our own off-chain way of clearing things. If we have become skeptical of some manufacturer or what will eventually emerge is say, you know what, I want to focus on making my widgets. I don't want to be in banking. Here, this guy knows banking. I'm going to trust this bank. And you might use multiple banks. You're not going to be with just one. So that's.
Yeah, but anyway, I think that's a debatable subject.
All these things are debated, open
right.
discussion.
No one has the answers. So what about road? I think we don't care about that. Let's have a shot of vodka if you come to New York. Well, we will be in Miami, hopefully in
April.
Yeah. For a conference there.
Actually, if you go to that apparently the way the structure is, I'll be giving free workshops.
Yeah. I think we'll be doing workshops there.
And for a ticket to come to the conference, and if you want to learn about money management,
I'll be your
happy.
deal. But yeah, but we will have the organizers on, Erica from Be Your Own Bank, and I'm not sure I can reveal the other name, so I won't. But they are organizing a Miami crypto event, and at least he will be there. I will be there if I'm allowed into America.
Well, that is
long live COVID.
Yeah, that is quite an accomplishment. Surviving 40 years of commodity trading. So there's a lot of people that are very outstanding commodity traders that have been completely ruined, and then they write a book to finance themselves, teaching others.
Right. That's usually how it goes. If you can't do,
right.
Teach.
And I don't know that. Again, what I don't know. I've heard of Peter Brandt. I have no reason to say anything but good things about him. But to the best of my knowledge, I'm the only one that's publishing everything that I do live.
I have never ever seen anyone do anything equivalent. I'll say that much.
So,
but I have also never.
I'll succeed this year. I don't know. I've traded successfully every year since I've been in Bitcoin.
And the funny thing is, you didn't even know what goat meant when you picked it.
I did not know what goat meant when
He wanted to call himself the ugly old fart.
Well, that's what I was, and then I said that was a little too risque. So.
Oh, because risque is not your forte.
No, I think
anyway,
offensive is more my forte.
Controversial. Let's go with that. Okay,
Or
guys.
Obnoxious might be another forte. So,
Anyway, guys, let's get to what we're here for. It was that was a short introduction for anyone who doesn't know us or know Ugly especially, and we hope to see more of you in future. But
yeah, and this is for you guys that, hey, now that you're hodling a little Bitcoin, don't really want to trade it. How can you?
or maybe you're not even hodling. Maybe you just want to start.
Yeah, maybe you want to start. I mean, I don't have any reason. You can buy Bitcoin on Binance. I think if you're U.S., they have a different exchange if you're U.S.
Yeah, they have a U.S. division, and they're and if you want to learn how to buy Bitcoin, I'm pretty sure it's an easy thing to find out. Personally, without having used them, I would recommend Swan Exchange.
Yeah, I kind of like the Swan. They seem to be doing everything right.
Right.
And there's a lot of exchanges. I mean, we're here in Mexico. Bitso is a wonderful exchange.
Bitstamp is very, very nice.
I've used,
Coinbase, I would never recommend to anyone.
No, I don't recommend Bitcoin.com.
No, for God's
all those things. But
there are very
as far as I know,
reputable
Kraken seems to be
exchanges out there who are just as good as the traditional
And
system.
guys, you do have to weigh. Once you educate yourself about Bitcoin, it may be the best thing not to buy on an exchange, because if you buy on an exchange, for the most part, you have to KYC. So you're telling people, hey, or at least the government, you're saying, hey, I own Bitcoin. And you may not want to do that. And so you can also buy Bitcoin privately. You're probably going to pay a premium to do that. But by also keeping it completely off the grid, it has its benefits. Now, I'm not that way, although I will say this, I have not bought Bitcoin for years. I don't think I've bought Bitcoin since 2016 or 17, maybe early 17. And I know my last decent purchase was back in 2016 because I had a very good year in my other business. This is becoming my full-time business. This is my avocation and not my vocation. I love doing what I'm doing. I love being able to tell you the stories. I love to be able to teach you money management. I really, will accomplish what I hope to accomplish if I can help you on the journey towards success. Oh, aren't you loved?
He protects us. He takes care of us.
So,
no, Big Bear, let's go down. That's enough. Enough. Sit.
Come here, Big Bear.
Sit.
Yeah, I know. You're just a big overgrown puppy. That's your problem. You're just a big. You just are a big overgrown puppy. Yeah.
I wonder how he's gonna fare with my cat.
Amazing. He gets along good. Our dogs seem to get
My
along
cat
with
doesn't
cats.
get along with anyone.
Yeah, well, that's up to your cat.
Right. Let's get into it, guys. So, what we're doing here is we're looking at Binance. Binance is from my standpoint a very reputable exchange. I have nothing bad to say about Binance other than their shitcoiners.
Right.
That's my one point of contention
Right.
with them. I don't know if you have any. You don't have much experience with them, but I don't know if you have an opinion on them.
I really don't. I mean, I just hear what you guys say, and a lot of you guys use them, and they seem to have a reasonable spreads. They seem to be, they're not price gouging in any way. You can actually, if you decide to hold your Bitcoin on the exchange, you can earn overnight interest,
which
right?
is what we're gonna be
Overnight.
teaching
That's
now.
what I'm going to teach you. I mean, if you're not, you may as well. If you're going to keep something on the exchange, you may as well.
Especially if you're a newbie, then you don't want to immediately take possession of your own Bitcoin.
I actually open an account. I put 0.2 Bit5 on the Binance exchange. I haven't traded it yet. I haven't even tried because you know what, we're busy.
We're building.
We are building, and it's not. That's why I say it's what we're doing this year is the kind of the next level. And you guys, if you can see the cycle, you can see why we're doing it. We couldn't have done what we're doing 3 months ago.
Oh no, we like this
We
was
can
this
only
was
do
a
this.
this was a nothing but a
Bitcoin essentially
dream
went,
in December.
Yeah, went
like
from, I don't know, when was it $10,000?
it started December,
Yeah, was it 10,000 then, or was it
somewhere around there, at least November.
Yeah, and you know, so our net worth has just increased substantially
Day by day.
day by day. So we can now. We're not taking any more risk when it comes in Bitcoin, but look at, because we hodl, look how we have been rewarded, and you know, hopefully we can take success to another
Guys,
level.
I just bought my dream car for $40.
What?
2 Bitcoin for the Escalade.
Oh, yeah, but you haven't bought it yet.
Well, no, they still need to approve the credit, right? But
Well, they're not. They declined it.
they declined it.
Yeah, no.
We're gonna have to go with Strongball then.
Yeah, no.
Ah.
They declined because they initially doesn't have any credit, so they
Oh, see, that's the
declined.
thing. When I'm in
That's
Mexico,
why I say I
and-
want my money back, but they're not sending my money. That's going to be my next play. You know what? Either give me, because we
Right,
kind of got
okay.
Yeah, you understand what happened?
see, that's the thing.
We went in-
I'm not an actual resident here,
Right,
so
so
I
why
can't
are we doing
own
it?
anything.
So
So-
I did it, and we put it all at any rate, and it just kind of gets.
We're having
complicated. We're having fun, and they haven't sold it. I'm not too worried about
I'm
it.
gonna say I don't
But
think
it's like-
another guy's
like
gonna
it's
come up
over.
and pick up that Escalade by tomorrow.
Yeah,
so I
it's
think
like
we're gonna get
this
it.
thing is what, 200,000.
Yeah, two and a half
2
million.
million. No, a little over 2 million Bitcoin.
Yeah, 2 Bitcoin, but
Yeah,
2.2
Bitcoin.
million
Yeah,
pesos.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
and I've wanted an Escalade since the first time I watched a rap video with 50 Cent. So I'm dying for
This is I don't know.
Hey,
What
you
call that?
you were the one who dubbed it the
there it is.
Pope
It's there. But they didn't get. They told us, oh yeah, here's this deal. So okay, I'll take that deal. Because I said okay, because I have a cash flow problem now in pesos. So I said okay, I'll just put down but then they took my money and then they didn't approve it. But they kind of said when I got there, so oh, but if you put in this much as a down payment, you're more likely to be approved.
Yeah.
I said, well, why didn't you tell me that the first time?
Right.
Why do you come in here? I'm signing the papers and you change it on me. I'll sleep on it overnight. So I slept on it. I said, I only want the first deal.
Do you know what?
And so
Viva
now,
la-
now
Viva
I
la
want my
Mexico.
money back. It's just, you know what? It's the same old game. Everybody, it's like, it's really hard to.
Viva la
yeah,
Mexico,
right,
guys.
Yeah, Viva la Mexico. Well, it's not. GM is not, you know, they
Yeah, it's a GM dealership.
It's a
Anyway,
GM dealership.
now for the third time, let's get back to what we're doing. Right. So if you're having if you have your first Bitcoin and you're buying it on Binance anyway, maybe you wanna make a little bit of money extra on your Bitcoin that you're just hodling, then you can do the same as you would do in a bank with a savings account and gain a little bit of interest on what you have deposited. The difference is most banks today will pay you negative interest. They will charge you money to actually hold your money. Exchanges will not. They will actually pay you money to put your money with them. So that's why we're talking about exchanges being the new banks, because if you're on the Bitcoin standard, then that's really the function that they're providing, and at a much better rate than regular banks are with your fiat dollars. So today we're going to be looking at Binance, which is one of the things that I'm familiar with. I haven't used it personally, but we're going to be testing it live with you watching. So we'll come back in maybe a few, Big Bear. We'll come back in a few days and see how this turned out, if everything is cracked up to be, because it sounds really good. We've heard good things, and if you can make 1% APR on your Bitcoin, why wouldn't you? So let's take a look at it. Ugly hasn't done this, or know much about it either. So I'm just gonna wait for him to come back, and then we'll get cracking on. Anyone have any questions in the meantime? I'm not quite sure what you mean there, Eugene, but better buy BTC off grid. Yeah, they may try to confiscate it, but that's the thing about Bitcoin, right? It's unconfiscatable. Like unless they're pulling out your fingernails, and even then, do you know your private key? Like, if someone someone tried to rob me in December for my Bitcoin, and you know, luckily it went less as they planned, but even if they wanted it, they couldn't have gotten it, because I couldn't have given it to them even if I wanted to. Because I don't remember a long private key. Anyway, here he is, the man himself.
Oh man, who got into these? Is that you? I think the dog just got into our coffee. Yeah,
he
look
is.
at that.
Oh,
man.
he is so excited to be up here.
You're just dying to be a YouTube star, aren't you? Huh?
He does a good job. Oh, look at him.
You need to, you know what? But you can't be eating my coffee filter.
Right.
Okay, you can't be doing
So,
that.
here we are, guys. This is Binance. Most people will probably know about it if you're at least a little bit into crypto. But if you're not and you're just starting, then they will let you buy with a credit card. You can, of course, they'll charge you a small fee, but it's a good place to get started. Is what I'd say. It's where I sell when I sell Bitcoin to get regular fiat money. This is where I do it, and I get it to my bank account instantly for a flat fee. They do very good business. This is what I'll say. So this is what it's going to look like when you get in there, and what you want to do is you're going to have your Bitcoin on here. In our case, we have 0.25, which is $14,000. Can you believe that?
I can't believe it. That's
This is amazing.
I remember now. Just a few months ago, 14,000 was one Bitcoin. Now it's 4 Bitcoin. Can you?
It is
That's a fourth of a
absolutely
Bitcoin.
insane. I remember the days of just sitting here just watching these prices.
Guys, do you understand what hodling does? Is we're able to do this. This Bitcoin.
Go
consumer-
read his
It's just something
article.
we want to do on a whim. Okay, now we're working on other projects, but some of these things, yeah, we want to build an Bitcoin education. We really do, and hopefully keep people on track. We're going to make some mistakes.
Oh, we already have.
But at least you know where we're coming from. And again, I'm not, we're not endorsing any of these exchanges. What we're doing is teaching you what you can, that they are available out there, and it is an option that you can do.
Right.
I do not recommend you put more on exchanges than you can afford, because there could be a day, particularly for KYC, where there's going to be some global conspiracy where the governments all get together and they're going to just shut down every major KYC exchange. Every
You just used the C word.
Huh?
You just used the C word.
C word. What's that?
Conspiracy.
What?
Conspiracy.
I did. Oh, okay.
No,
Well,
look,
not,
but
well, it is.
historically,
if it's synchronized, then there's
historically,
conspiracy
a
behind
lot
it.
of conspiracies have turned out to be true. So let's not. Anyway.
Well, I don't think they have a major impact. I mean, a long-term impact. They are certainly again, if you want to know my view of conspiracies, read The Money Mirage by E.C. Howard, because he outlined all the conspiracy theories that had credibility in his day, and he just, for the most part, just dismissed them and says, okay, maybe, maybe not, but, here's what we can do.
Right.
And so
Right.
What you're doing is you're protecting yourself.
Right. So what we've done here is we've deposited our a quarter of a Bitcoin into Binance. We won't bother you with that part. It's pretty easy. Bear, shush, sit.
I'll let him out. He can get out.
All right. And from there, you need to what Binance has done is they've separated your wallets so that one trade or one thing you do doesn't affect the money you have in other products, which I personally think is a great thing. What we are actually wanting to do is we want to stake some of our Bitcoin. We have it on Binance anyway, and so why not make 1% a year of your Bitcoin just by keeping it there? Don't keep all of it there, but judge the risk. Decide if you want to make some interest without taking trading risk.
So much for him going out.
Yep. All right. And if you decide that the risk of having your Bitcoin on Binance is worth it to you, then you can make some money on it. It's very simple. So what they have here when you go to finance is Binance Earn, and here you will find the one-stop investment solutions that they provide. They have two types of interest accumulating products. Well, three really, but only two that we're really interested in. They have flexible term products and they have fixed term products. Now, flexible terms means that you're not locked up for a certain amount of time, mostly 24 hours. So if you're not doing anything with your Bitcoin and it's on Binance in the next 24 hours, you might as well get a percent of it. Why not? If you want to do it for a bit longer, you can get a better yield, better than the 1.2%. But that also requires you to lock it up for longer. These are the fixed terms. And not all coins are available.
And some of those are not in dollars in the USDT. Now,
right.
Are they paying in the DT or are they paying in actually?
Well, that
Bitcoin?
depends on the. That depends on the product you buy.
Yeah, I want to buy Bitcoin.
So a fixed, a fixed one will not let you do it in. They will only let you do it in fiat equivalents.
Okay.
So these are the long-term ones. Those aren't the ones we will be looking at today.
No, I just want the short term.
The short term are 24 hours.
There you go.
And they have BTC.
There you go.
And they will pay you back in
That's what I
BTC.
want.
And that's what we want. We're on this Bitcoin standard. We don't want to risk. Like Bitcoin can go up 10% in a day. That rarely happens to the dollar. So, so we want. Well, Cryptosauro,
Yeah, but how? But we don't.
Why? Why would you do that?
Cryptosauro, we don't know you.
Yes, we do.
Do we? Oh.
But why would you give us 2%? Why do you want to give us your money?
I do know Cryptosauro. So, yeah, okay.
Anyway, what any person can do is if they have their Bitcoin on Binance, they can go to the finance section, the Binance Earn, and they will find under the flexible savings products, BTC, right here. Now, auto transfer means that all the BTC you hold on your account will just automatically be staked.
Right.
So you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to work back or forth or anything. They do it all for you. You can take it out
but
whenever you want.
Is there a day can I do 10 days on that?
No,
Or
that's
just
24-hour
24
increments.
hours, okay.
That's-
That's the only way I can do BTC.
That's the only way you can do
Yeah, well, that's still
BTC,
not
low
bad.
risk.
Huh?
Low risk. You can do
Low
it
risk.
high risk on DeFi, but
No,
that's
no,
not what we
no,
like.
That's not what we like.
We want safe, sound money is what we
Right.
like. So if you turn auto transfer on, that means all of our quarter Bitcoin would be staked at a 1.2% interest yield, right? So let's try and stake some Bitcoin, shall we?
Yeah, put in the total amount. Why not?
That's
0.25?
you want to give it the
Max.
full blast. The quantity has to be
You have to put in the
available.
0.25. You need to type it in. 0.25.
Yeah, I just pressed max. That should.
There
Oh,
you
there
go,
we are.
Okay.
Okay. And here we are.
Oh,
So
yeah, 7 days. Apparently, it is tied up for 7 days.
no, that's
Yeah.
just the APY for 7
okay.
days. It's only tied up for 24 hours at a time.
Oh,
But if you
okay.
keep it for 7
Oh,
days, you'll
okay.
get 1.2.
Okay.
See, interest calculation. You can find all. They're not trying to sneak you here. They will give you all. If you want to sit down and read all the terms and conditions, they are right there for you. Right? Binance Savings Service Agreement. Do your own research. That's not why we're here. Right? We're here to show you if
How
it
it
works or not.
How it works and
If
yeah.
it works. So
And to
that's
outline the risks that you're actually taking. There's a very real exchange risk that you're
right.
taking here.
And I would say for Binance, that risk is very small because Binance has been hacked before and they made everyone whole within 24 hours, as far as I remember. So they definitely made everyone whole. But right now we're gonna say we're gonna stake all of our quarter of a Bitcoin. That's barely $15,000, and we're just gonna click here.
We'll come back to it later.
And
see how much
subscription
I've earned.
success. So now we can go and we can see our activities. Should be at least. Oh, sorry. That is actually not where. There. Overview. See here in our wallet. We now have our quarter of a Bitcoin in our Earn wallet.
Yes, you
Viewing
have to
it.
be careful. That is for sure.
You have to know what you're doing, but
Look,
it is not this
I can
hard.
lose 0.25 Bitcoin and it's not going to affect me.
But the
one
only
iota.
right, and the only way you're gonna lose this is if Binance takes it away from you,
Right. Or
Right.
the government takes
or if the
away
government takes it away from Binance.
from Binance.
Right.
Exactly. Or they legitimately get hacked and cannot make good on that.
But they have such a large insurance fund.
Well, we
that-
don't know about that. But
Well, that's actually
it's just
public.
risk.
That's
Oh,
actually
is
a
it?
public,
Okay.
and they have enough to make everyone whole many times over. Yeah, here we have our first product we just put in. It's a flexible saving. It's a total amount of quarter Bitcoin. Accruing interest so far is nothing because it's only been going.
And we want to look at some of the other features on Binance. I have not ruled out Binance. It's just that I haven't found any. I personally don't see any advantage of using it.
Let me wrap this up because this will be 2 minutes.
Yeah.
2 minutes.
Okay.
So we have nothing to redeem yet. We have no accrued interest because we just put this on, obviously. So cumulative interest would be if we left it in here, what would be the next, the next step up once we also apply the 1.2% 7-day APY. And if we want to take it out, all we do is redeem, and it will go straight back to your wallet, and you can take it to your private personal custody. It's very straightforward
Yep.
once you know what you're doing, to be honest. So that's really all it took. And right now we're earning 1.2% interest on our Bitcoin.
That's a yearly.
In Bitcoin.
That's a yearly return.
Yearly return,
Yeah,
obviously,
right. So
but
it's not much, guys. It's really
but
not
it's
much.
better than
Something.
nothing,
Right.
right? It's
I mean,
it's
basically,
something.
you have a 100 Bitcoin.
Look at us. If
You know, you
10
can be earning
bit.
60,000
Like,
a year on it, and
plus, it's compounding.
whatever Bitcoin, depending on what Bitcoin goes up or down.
No, the more Bitcoin that you accrue as interest will also
Yeah.
be reused. So you're going to be scaling as you compound the interest. So it's a good product if you
So
ask
I mean,
me.
that's basically, you know,
It's better than
$6 million you put up, you make 60,000 a year.
right. Find me a bank that'll do that, and let you take the money out at will.
And it's in Bitcoin, so if
There you
Bitcoin
are.
goes up, you're doing well. So there's definitely different things that you can do. Now, the BitMEX is a more pure market. It is an arbitrage market, so there's a lot of things that are built into BitMEX that are the same thing as here on Binance. It's just that they're absorbing a lot of that risk, so you're not going to get the reward that you could get if you kind of create your own hedging pool and do your own hedging strategies.
Right. For that,
This is just an easy way that they made it easy for the average consumer to do it.
This is the safest and most non-risky way of accruing interest on your Bitcoin on
you
Binance.
still have exchange risk,
But there are many other
Right.
products who will give you a bigger yield, and but they also are more risky. And there are DeFi things on here, decentralized finance contracts that they will let you participate in, but they tell you right up front.
BitMEX pays you a whole lot more in interest, but you got to know what you're
Well,
doing.
if you could do a DeFi contract here,
You
you
can't
can
do
get
it.
up to 7-10% APY,
Right,
which is
right.
pretty good.
Yeah.
But they also say this is DeFi.
It's also right.
So we'll touch on that another time when we've
And
seen.
you have to put up Bitcoin. You're risking Bitcoin,
Right.
so it's a hedging operation, which again I outlined. I wrote a primer on hedging, but we're going to be doing more
Primer
and more
on
a
hedging.
primer. Yeah, a primer on hedging. Hedging's and that's all it really is, because a primer is just outlining the very basics. You have to figure out your own hedging strategies. And
Right.
for everybody is different, because your financial situation is different from mine. Stefan's is much different from mine because he's 40 years younger than I am.
Right.
So I'm at a different point in my life.
Like, he doesn't care if he spends every time he has by the time he's
Right. I mean, I'm not. My children haven't made. I don't want to spoil my other children, and so, you know what? I've taken care of the goat lady, and if we lose every Bitcoin we have now, she's still.
And
better
I'll
off
be
than she's
and
ever
I'll be
been.
very proud the day that I leave here, and will be able to take care of some of my family that didn't necessarily have it easy.
Right. Because
So-
you're Bitcoin rich and you're poor and everything else.
Right.
So I get
And
it.
and I think I'm of the opinion that as long as I just keep making the money I need to live and keep my Bitcoin safe, then that's right, Ixwell. Hodl, hodl, hodl.
Yeah.
That's my
Well, this is real simple. I hope we kept it simple. I hope you guys, particularly
right.
for newbies.
So what
if you
what
don't
we're
know-
gonna do is we're gonna come back to this in, let's say, a week.
Yeah.
Sunday on Sunday we're gonna come back and we're gonna see how much interest we've made on our Bitcoin staking, and you can do exactly the same. It's that easy. It really is that simple.
Should we look at Bitcoin at all? I noticed it's breaking a little bit.
Is it?
Yeah, I noticed a little bit.
That's very little. Let's but yeah, let's look. Let me just change the screen here.
So, yeah, I mean, I just sticking my toe in the water to get a feel for the market. Haven't traded much.
Yeah,
all
see,
year.
we wouldn't normally, if this would have been a members only show, we would be showing his account and all profits and everything. But since this is open to public,
Right.
we're just showing the chart. But
And we are going to have kind of a new program for newbies
Right.
So it will be within anybody's budget.
Yeah, right now, you know,
Bitcoin.
not a lot of people have $6,000 to learn something about Bitcoin. So we're
Yeah,
putting
yeah.
together a product that's more in the
Yeah, a
$100
Bitcoin
to
start
$200
kit,
range,
Bitcoin start bag that has everything you need to get started.
like
So
a
the education-
hardware wallet to
good books to get you educated on.
all the tools you need to store your own Bitcoin, where to buy it, all these things. And we're not doing this to make money because we don't need to.
No, we are doing it kind of on the Google model just to build a database.
Yeah,
more than anything, we want.
Well, saying that, we don't keep anyone's information. I want to stress that very, very much. We unless people allow us to, and want us to, we don't store anyone's information for anything. We
Well, we have to a degree. Like to become a member, you at least have to give
your
an
email address, but
Right.
you know that's
But if
not
you don't
exactly
want any more than information than that. You don't.
that's all you
it.
need.
Right.
Like we're not asking for your social security number.
No.
So don't think you're
And we're
gonna.
not going to take credit cards.
No, definitely not. And if you are going to pay us in fiat for our conferences or products, we are going to charge you 25% more.
50% more. The heck with that.
100% more. I don't care. I want Bitcoin. I don't want shit dollar.
I don't want to deal with PayPal. I mean, the only way I can take your credit card is through PayPal. I hate PayPal.
Right?
just do, guys.
They've shut me down so many times I can't even count it anymore.
It's a nightmare.
They are an absolutely terrible company. So good on you, Elon, for getting out of that one. Right. So yeah, let's quickly go back to the screen here and recap and see. All right. So what we have done is we have put a quarter of Bitcoin, equivalent to $14,318, into an interest accruing account that is accruing 1.2% APY on a 7-day basis, and in 7 days we'll be coming back here to see if that is true.
Yep. That's it.
That's
our first Bitcoin consumer report.
That's the one. This is our pilot episode, and if you have any other products that you would like us to explore, and look, we're putting our money at risk to test products that you want us to test. Can you ask for more?
No.
I mean, so if you have anything that you're sort of iffy about and you want us to take a look on and give us our opinion on, then maybe we'll even try it out for you with our money. If we don't trust it, we're not going to throw anything in it, though. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Most DeFi products will never get any red cent of ours. But, you know.
Boy, there's promoting. I noticed they're hyping them up again, too. I got something from this one called Avalanche now.
I was offered a job with one of the DeFi chains recently. It's coming back. It's the new shitcoin.
It's the new shitcoin. No, that's for sure.
That's definitely. And for anyone not knowing what that is,
so we want to keep you guys all on track. You know,
Right.
I think that's what I've done consistently since I started. You know, anybody that's followed me, you know, if you followed what I've written, you should be way ahead of the game from the very first day you read my lead article on how to profit in Bitcoin like a professional trader. And you do that through dollar cost averaging. And that's not changed. If you're new to Bitcoin, don't have any Bitcoin, I recommend that you look to immediately transfer 5% of your net worth into Bitcoin. It's just the prudent thing to do. And with the goal of transferring as much as 15% of your wealth and treat it as your treasury. That's what we've been doing. That's what Stephen Pope and I have been doing. I've been doing it since 2013. I bought my first Bitcoin a little under $100. This guy was in it way before me. When
by sheer luck. I'm not pretending to be smarter than I am.
You know, only reason he has a hodl is that, you know, one of the deals he made while he was
No, yeah, it's all right. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
While he was in the drug trade, the guy couldn't meet what his demand was, And so he had leftover Bitcoin that he forgot about for what, 5 or 6 years? How many years?
4 years.
4 years.
From 13 to 17.
Yeah. So, and that's what saved your little tokus.
That's what allowed me to quit my job on a whim.
So yeah,
and move
so
around the world, and right now I'm living my best life in Mexico.
Yeah, and these guys that think they can trade a shitstorm in Bitcoin, well, you know, just have them print their trades.
Right.
Because, you know, if they can, they should do it, be able to do it consistently
Right.
over a long period of time. Most of them, they simply say, oh, I caught this move and you didn't, ha. You've subscribed to my service, and most of them are selling the system and not showing their actual trades on that system. So, I mean, I get it, but don't fall into all the hype, guys.
No, don't FOMO. That's basically what we can say about that. And right, we're uglyoldgoat.com, uglyoldgoat1 on Twitter. I'm Stefan at Watts on Twitter.
We got all kinds of domain names now that we don't know what
That
to
we're
do
doing
with.
something with and nothing with all the time. It's
Keep your eye open. We're having the Bitcoin Standard Conference, but most likely it's not even going to be available to the public.
No, it
It's
looks
just
like
gonna
unless COVID restrictions loosen up, it looks like we're only going to have members here. But otherwise, come to Mexico, visit us, have fun. That's part
be-
of.
Well, kind of. I don't open it up for everybody. Kind of.
No, well,
Not
everyone can
members.
get a hotel.
Well, that's true, but but I really kind of the open invitations.
The open invitation to come here
Right.
is for members only.
Right.
But anyone should come to Mexico, if nothing else, for their own sake, to just experience what it's like down here, and I'm sure
The freedom that we have.
that the Goat Lady would be happy to take anyone on a tour and show her and Sonata.
Yeah, but she's getting pretty busy now. No, I want to kind of limit that to members. We can't just open it. I used to be that way, but we have so many people coming down here now.
That is true. There is a lot of people.
It's not the
coming,
same as it was last year, guys.
Well, we're gonna need a travel assistant. It looks like.
Yeah.
We just got a job opening.
Oh, and I will be if you're going to be in Miami, I will be at the Miami conference, which is end of April.
Hopefully,
so-
I will be too.
And I will be teaching money management.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll just be getting drunk.
So, all right.
Right, guys.
We are done.
I
Thank
think
you for
we're
tuning in.
done. Do you wanna do the dance one more time?
We can. It's what we teach, guys. It's very simple. And we do
This is how it
Let's
works.
go hodl,
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 hodl, hodl. Save, save, save. Builder, builder, builder. Sound money, sound money.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Nice hanging out. See you next time.